The building was built in 1884, and it was built as a McKee block, which encompassed 4 stores with a common front. And we got the building given to us in 1984. We spent 10 years fixing it up. Well, I'd always had an interest in antiques and always collected junk. And for the 10 years intervening between the time it was given to us and the time we opened, we just began chucking things in here. And it became quite filled with stuff. We wouldn't call it antiques necessarily, but just stuff. We were working on the building all this time, trying to make it better. And boy, there was a lot of times when we almost gave up because it seemed just hopeless. But then along in 1994, we were scheduled for the all-school reunion. It's been a museum ever since. I was born in Fonda. I've always collected antiques. I never could throw anything away, so way back when I was a child, 73 years ago. Jan came later.
And then the last part of 5th grade on, I moved to Fonda with my parents. And so here I am, still here, loving every minute of it. With the player piano and the barrel piano and the jukeboxes and the music we play, you know, it's just not a, come in, as Gib likes to say, a boring place where you look at items and just move on at your own. If at all possible, we like to share our stories with them and whatever else, and play the music for them. And I think one of the biggest things that I like is when they're in here, they're chit-chat, they see something that they have had, or something reminds them of a gathering with their family or friends, and they'll laugh and hug each other and just have a great time, you know. And that's what makes it really fun for us. Mm-hmm. They have found something that reminds them of some very happy times in their life, and they appreciate each other, and they show love and affection toward one another, and then that's really, really nice.
They see things that they'd forgotten about. Play the organ for us?
Why not?
There was a lady through here just Saturday who saw a poster hanging up on the wall of a roller skating rink. Lo and behold, it was her father's roller rink. And of course that meant a lot to her, and we got the picture down and took a picture of her and holding that poster. So that meant a lot to her and made another interesting story for us. This is the worst part of the job, is cleaning it up afterward. And both of these printing presses have new rubber rollers. And there's a story about that too. One day, 3 priests came in, and I said, I can kind of show you how it works, but the rubber rollers are no good, they're all wore out. And one priest said, I have a nephew in St. Paul whose job it is to make rubber rollers for old printing presses. And I said, oh my gosh, what stroke of good luck. And he said, yeah, I'll see if I can get him to make you some rubber rollers. And I mailed him the old ones, and sure enough, he made me 3 new rollers. Well, when people come to the museum, and if they have a good time, it's really delightful. We have a good time. If they're not interested, then it's a real downer, and we're not interested either. But if they have a good time, we have a good time. We really do. And we meet a lot of really nice people. We hear a lot of interesting stories of their life and other things, and just really meet some interesting people. We've talked to people who've survived the wars and done interesting things and been interesting places. And a lot of people who've lived here and stories that they tell us, and very, very interesting stories we've heard. It's rewarding to us as well as to them, I think.
It's true labor of love, because it was almost impossible. Most people would have said, forget it, you know.
The reason we do these things is because of the challenge, the difficulty. It's to see if we can. Does that make sense? I like a challenge. I like to do things that look impossible. Nothing's impossible, but some things approach being impossible. And if I can, I try it. And I'm pretty stubborn, so I don't give up easily.
He doesn't give up easily.
I get discouraged, but I don't give up. I just hang in there until I finally get it done. Sometimes it takes years. But jukebox is 1937 mills. You get 2 plays for a nickel or 5 for a dime.
The restoration of everything, the building of the cabinets and the jukeboxes and restoring the toys and restoring anything, it's this man. It's his great talent. Very diversified, and he's a self-made man. I'm very proud of him for it.
I had this little red antique car that she liked.
Well, that's not exactly the whole story. He's a very fine, kind man, clean living. I just think he was great, and have loved him ever since.
She was my last chance. If she had turned me down, I'd be a bachelor today, probably. Like Jan says, we don't smoke, drink, or run around too much, so therefore we've got a little discretionary money. But it doesn't take nearly as much as you think. What it really takes is dedication. We did it together. We sure did a lot of hard work.
We certainly did.
The wheels were all gone, so I made new wheels using this, the only remaining piece. People wonder how in the world did they acquire all that stuff, and on an average salary, you know, but mostly it was just cast off junk that was given to us or thrown away or reclaimed or restored. It wasn't valuable necessarily when we got it. And another thing, we got it early in life when it was being thrown away. So we're scroungers and savers, but not necessarily rich people. But you can't collect it all, and you can't take care of it all, and you can't forever keep it up. So yeah, I wonder what's going to happen to it. And that's a good question with no answer. I just don't know what's going to happen to it. And I've lost a lot of sleep over it, but I've decided not to lose any more sleep. I'm just going to
Go
as far as I can. We're kind of the keeper of the history of Fonda. It wasn't intended that way, but it's evolved into that. Labor of love, I guess, and I hope people enjoy it as much as we do.
We're glad to welcome anybody that wants to come in. Thanks again, folks. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enthusiasm is contagious, and if they enjoy it, boy, we enjoy it too. So it can involve an hour or two pretty easily.
As long as they're willing to listen, we'll bend their ear.